I wasn't really honestly thrilled about either of the candidates.
I honestly just hope that everyone, regardless of the outcome, can accept it and remain calm.
It's an election that no one will soon forget as Americans turn out to cast their ballot for the 45th President of the United States. Thanks for joining us. Businessman Donald Trump pulled off a political stunner this week, capturing enough electoral votes to beat Hillary Clinton in the presidential race.
The election caps off what's been a bitter fight for the White House for the past 18 months. On Tuesday, people across the country came out in big numbers to cast their ballots. Here in Minnesota, the Secretary of State's office estimates just over 74% of eligible voters cast a ballot in this year's election. That's down more than 2% from the last presidential election, but still one of the highest voter turnouts in the country. A record number of Minnesotans voted early by absentee ballot, with this being the first presidential election you didn't need an excuse to vote early. In Anoka County alone, more than 37,000 absentee ballots were processed, which is more than triple the old record. Here in Coon Rapids, there will be 2 new faces on the City Council next year.
2 incumbents will also be returning to the council. In Ward 1, the seat held by Denise Clint, who did not seek re-election after 18 years in office, Brad Groskowiak came out on top with more than 3,200 votes. Julia Stevens received more than 2,500 votes. Groskowiak, who works as a strategic global affairs account manager for a Fortune 500 company, is a 28-year resident of Coon Rapids and raised his family here. He says one of the biggest challenges facing the city is the Coon Rapids Boulevard corridor.
A couple of things that I would like to see is opening up the corridor coming in from the east of town, ensuring that the mix of residential and business applications and development along that corridor are going to support what I think can be a very robust corridor. Coon Rapids Boulevard is a busy county road and again can support local businesses and residential neighborhoods.
In Ward 2, the seat currently held by Ron Manning, who didn't seek re-election, Bill Keeker won that with just over 3,100 votes. Greg Leone received nearly 2,200 votes. Kiker, who works as a programmer and manager for a health insurance company, grew up in Coon Rapids, raised his family here, and has been active in the community. He says he's looking forward to serving the people of Ward 2.
There's a lot of movement on the boulevard, and to be able to continue moving more development there, I think that would be nice. I like what we're doing with the parks. I think that that's a good thing. So more business, if there's something we can do in that area, I think that would be nice.
In Ward 4, Jenny Geisler won her first full term in office on Tuesday night. Geisler received nearly 2,800 votes. Her challenger, Chuck Filipczyk, received nearly 2,400 votes. Geisler says bringing new developments into the city while providing a variety of housing options will be a focus during her term.
It's that circle and that life cycle of housing that will help keep our city vibrant by maintaining the residents that live here today that want to stay here and have different housing options, and to bring new residents in.
Turning to the at-large seat, there was no contest there. Incumbent Steve Wells received more than 23,000 votes. There were about 450 write-ins. Wells, who retired as Coon Rapids Police Chief back in 2010, is looking forward to serving a second term on the council.
I enjoy being involved in the city. You know, as you said, I was with the city for 32 years and, retired for a couple years before I decided to run. And I really like being active in the city. I believe in the city. We're doing a lot of good things. So I just like the involvement.
Steve Wells and Jenny Geisler, as well as our 2 new city council members, will be sworn into office on January 2nd.
All 4 incumbents will be returning to the Anoka County Board. In District 1, Matt Look received just over 16,000 votes. His challenger, Marcia Vandenberg, received about 8,600. In District 2, incumbent Julie Brosted easily beat challenger Mara Schilling. Brosted got more than 18,000 votes. Schilling received less than 5,000. Turning to District 3, a closer race there, but Robin West still with a comfortable victory over Niles Zickman. West received just over 13,000 votes. Zickman got about 10,000. And in District 6, County Board Chair Rhonda Sivaraja retained her seat, receiving more than 14,000 votes. Challenger Kevin Ryan got around 7,300. We spoke to Sivaraja on election night. Here's what she had to say about the decisive win for all 4 incumbents.
On the campaign trail, we were getting a lot of encouragement, a lot of support for the work that we were doing, and I think that the numbers just prove that. And so very excited about the direction in which we're headed, and we will continue to move forward as a team.
Sivaraja says the Anoka County Board continues to deliver real results, including keeping property taxes low, paying down debt, and streamlining county government.
The balance of control at the state legislature will shift to the Republicans next year. Republicans retained their House majority and picked up 6 seats in the Senate to gain a 51% majority there. Locally, in State Senate District 35, Jim Abler won for the second time this year. He won the February special election and beat out DFL challenger Roger Johnson on Tuesday, 67 to 32%. In State Senate District 36, DFLer John Hoffman retained his seat, but it was close. Hoffman received 51% of the vote, and Republican challenger Jeffrey Lundy got nearly 49%. In State Senate District 37, State Representative Jerry Newton picked up that seat. He defeated Republican challenger Brad Sanford in a close race as well, 51 to 48%. Moving to the State House, in District 35B, Republican Peggy Scott will be returning for another term after beating out Wes Volkanant, 65 to 35%. In District 36A, Republican Mark Uglum won re-election with about 58% of the vote over DFL challenger Kevin Parker, who got 42%. In District 36B, Melissa Hortman held on to her House seat, getting about 56% of the vote. Republican Pete Kramer got 44%. And in District 37A, which was an open seat, DFLer Aaron Kegel wins there in a close race against Republican Anthony Wilder, 47 to 44%. Libertarian Party candidate Brian McCormick received 8% of the vote. The state legislature will convene for the start of the 2017 session on January 3rd.
Minnesotans overwhelmingly approved a ballot question removing state lawmakers' power to set their own pay. The question asked, shall the Minnesota Constitution be amended to remove state lawmakers' power to set their own salaries and instead establish an independent, citizens-only council to prescribe salaries of lawmakers? About 77% said yes, and 23% answered no or left the question blank. And one other question of interest locally, voters in Blaine rejected a ballot measure that would have raised taxes to construct a community center and senior center. About 46% voted yes, and 54% said no or didn't answer the question. Time for a quick break, but when we return, we'll take a look at some of the other news from the week,
including the arrest of a man wanted in connection with the death of a young child in Blaine. Plus, following a recent rash of heroin overdoses in Anoka County, authorities take their prevention message to the big screen. We'll explain.
It's a lot of work, and we're trying to squeeze it all into 6 weeks.
And the Coon Rapids Civic Center getting a facelift, a look at the work taking place when we return. Authorities have charged 2 people in connection with the death of a 2-year-old boy in Blaine.
The boy was unresponsive and pronounced dead Tuesday morning at the Blaine Medical Center. On Wednesday, 24-year-old Nelson Soto Lopez was charged with second-degree murder. Also, his girlfriend, 26-year-old Heidi Aguilera Bustia, was charged with second-degree manslaughter, aiding an offender, and child endangerment. Authorities put out an alert Tuesday afternoon after they say Soto Lopez fled with his girlfriend's 5-year-old daughter. The two were found safe early Thursday morning in Missouri. Soto Lopez was arrested and is awaiting extradition back to Minnesota. Aguilera Bustillo allegedly told investigators that Soto Lopez struck the 2-year-old with a belt and dropped him on his head after throwing him in the air.
Anoka County is responding to a recent wave of heroin overdoses by redoubling efforts to raise awareness about the dangers of the drug. CTN's Jordan Rylance joins us now with more on this latest initiative. Jordan?
Steve, so far in 2016, 25 people have died of a heroin or opiate-related overdose in Anoka County. The victims ranged in age from 18 to 61. The Last Take initiative is aimed at reducing deaths through a 15-second public service announcement. The PSA will be shown in movie theaters throughout Anoka County. The video is intended to shock and provoke thought in the minds of young people as a corpse with a toe tag is shown with the hashtag heroin kills. In one day alone last month, there were 6 heroin overdoses in Anoka County. 2 of those resulted in death. Addressing the drug problem in Anoka County has been a top priority for Anoka County Commissioner Rhonda Sivaraja. I spoke with her at her campaign victory party, where she discussed the growing heroin epidemic.
It's a little jarring, it's a little disturbing, but it's meant to get the attention of our youth, to really say that we do not want our youth dying. You know, heroin, even trying it once, is a life or death decision.
Now, in addition to the PSA shown in local theaters, an online campaign offering the same message will target county residents through mobile phones, tablets, or desktop computers. Steve and Karen?
All right, let's hope it works.
Message.
Yes.
Thanks, Jordan.
Bet.
The Anoka County Sheriff's Office has graduated its first ever Citizens Academy. The class of 20 met one night a week for 6 weeks this fall and received an in-depth look at all 6 divisions of the Sheriff's Office. In addition to a tour of the Anoka County Jail and a lesson on use of force, participants actually drove squad cars and made mock traffic stops. The Sheriff's Office plans to make the Citizens Academy an annual event.
Thanks a lot.
Another group of citizens also had a better understanding, or has a better understanding of law enforcement, rather. On Wednesday night, 16 members of the Coon Rapids Police Citizens Academy officially graduated. They've been meeting once a week for the past 10 weeks, learning everything from use of force to how police patrol our streets. We'll have a behind-the-scenes look at the Police Citizens Academy on our next CTN News Spotlight, which will begin airing on November 18th.
After 2 decades of use, the Coon Rapids Civic Center is getting a facelift. Work started this week on a major renovation project. CTN's Joe Nelson joins us now from the Civic Center with details. Joe?
Karen, it's been a busy week here at the Civic Center with voters casting ballots on Tuesday and demolition work starting the next morning. But that doesn't mean activities are taking a break.
I've been waiting for this day. Yeah, I'm really excited and I can't wait to see the final product.
Less than 12 hours after the polls closed at the Coon Rapids Civic Center, demolition began.
We're getting new walls, new ceiling tile, new audio, video, new carpet, new floors, wallpaper, new dividing walls. So just about everything in these 3 rooms is being remodeled.
It's a lot of work and we're trying to squeeze it all into 6 weeks.
The building is getting a $242,000 upgrade through funds budgeted by the city. It's been a busy place.
We've been in this building 20 years, and it gets a lot of wear and tear. The senior center uses it during the weekday, but then nights and weekends there's Boy Scouts, AA meetings, weddings, graduation parties, so it was time to freshen it up a little bit and also be competitive with the market.
Many activities normally held here will go on at other locations throughout the city.
When we went around town and asked these places if they could help us out, nobody turned us down. They were all accommodating.
Activities in smaller rooms will continue here, and many others that happen in larger rooms will go to the Coon Rapids Ice Center.
I think they would have had withdrawal symptoms from missing their friends and their activities, so we found homes for just about everything.
But bingo and senior dining are canceled during construction.
Just be patient. It's going to be lovely. It's going to be well worth it.
It says a lot about what the city thinks of our seniors, and they value them and they take good care of them, so we're pleased.
Construction is scheduled to be complete and all activities should be back to normal by December 12th. To find out where activities are going, contact the Civic Center, and to follow their progress, visit their Facebook page or stop on by. Karen?
Thanks, Joe.
If you've driven by the Springbrook Nature Center recently, you may have noticed something strange on the roof of the new Interpretive Center. Springbrook Nature Center officials say the odd-looking patch is the first installment of the Interpretive Center's green roof. What you're seeing is a 1 by 2 foot interlocking flats containing sedum, a type of hardy plant. Once established, the plants will provide additional insulation in both the winter and summer. They will also retain water during heavy rainfalls, thus reducing the rate at which the water comes off the roof. Additional flats will be added until the entire south roof is covered.
Many local charities and nonprofits will be looking for your support next week. Thursday, November 17th is Give to the Max Day in Minnesota. The annual event makes giving easier by streamlining the process. You can search for causes and groups and even schedule your donation online at givemn.org. Donations to some nonprofits are being matched that day also, and there will be incentives and prizes. Theater students at Coon Rapids High School will be giving audiences a laugh next week. The musical comedy Bye Bye Birdie is being staged November 16th through the 20th. Performance times do vary. Tickets can be purchased online or at the door. There is a special performance for seniors on Wednesday, November 16th, and on Thursday, the 17th, admission is half off for people who bring along a donation for the food shelf.
All right, so get out there and support them.
Sounds like fun.
That's going to do it for us. Thanks for watching. We'll see you back here again next week.